It's Michael Houghton here for Play Practice Play, Lesson 12, Look Long First. Alright, so we're going to be doing a warm-up game there of long passing / slap hitting. We're then going to go into play 1, a small-sided game with some constraints. We'll go into our drill or our practice, which will be pressing with a high player drill, and then we'll go back to our small-sided game. Let's break this down into detail. Do our usual warm-up for 10 minutes, a chance for our latecomers to turn up as well. We're then going to go into pairs, and we're going to try and get our pairs to be at least 10 meters apart. We want our players to be doing good long push passing. All right, so start off by just doing good long push passing. As we go through, we can make the distance larger. All right, and obviously, depending on the age of the player, the older they are, the longer the distance that they can actually do for push passing. So do a few minutes of push passing, then get them to convert to long slap hitting and sweeping as well. And if you want to, you can do a little bit of hitting, though I think actually teaching the slap hitting and the sweeping is probably better for accuracy. And really, we're looking to focus on accuracy and speed of the passes here. We're doing this warm-up for the look long first drill that we're going to be doing later in the game. So we just want our players working on accuracy and to get warmed up in preparation for the game. All right, so we then will break our team into two, and we will play our small-sided game. The constraint this week is that every team has to have a high player in the opposition top quarter. All right, so we start our game as normal. We nominate one player who's going to go and basically be a high forward, if you like. All right. The idea being that if we can get a long pass to that high forward, that nominated player, and that results in a goal being scored, then that goal is going to be worth 3 goals. All right. Now, there's going to have to be coach's discretion with this. It's not just a matter of passing to that player who scores. It could just be that a pass is made. That player then passes to another teammate, maybe another teammate then who scores or whatever. So it needs to be part of the same play. So we'll leave it as coach's discretion. What we're looking to do here is we're looking to encourage our players to look for and ideally make the long pass. All right. The skill that we're trying to teach here is something called pre-scanning. We want our players to be in the habit of looking for a long pass before they make their pass. So we want it to become second nature, that as they receive the ball, they're going to get their head up, look for that long pass, see if it's on. If it is on, we get our players to give it. All right. The other skill that we're looking to promote here, obviously, is movement. That high player is going to have to be moving into space to receive this pass in the first place. It is no good teaching our players to try and hit through other players. Okay, we're trying to get them to find a space and to have a gap between the high player and the ball so that the pass can be given. As a result, that high player should be running constantly. They will get tired, and so we'll swap that high player every few minutes. All right, so see how that goes. Okay, this is quite a new skill to introduce, and I should just note here that a lot of the lesson plans to date have been based on the triangular formation, giving diagonal passes, 1-2s, and movement. This is a little bit different. This is a little bit of an outlier as a concept. However, it is an important concept, and even if we can be getting 1 or 2 long passes in a game, that can be enough to make all the difference. All right. Let's jump over to our practice, which is going to be pressing with a high player. Okay, now again, we haven't actually done pressing yet. So this is basically setting up for a pressing drill. Okay, I'm going to explain what a press is. So a press is when we are defending a free out. All right, so this is a little bit complicated because I'm using the word defending when we're actually being the attacking team here. So in this case, the blue team is setting a press, and this is a free out or a 16-yard hit, as it was known in the old days. All right, so we've got a center back here who's looking to take a free out, and we've got our 3 attacking players setting a press, and then we've got our other players coming in behind. All right. Now, I've deliberately not made this a great press. Normally, you might have another player in here, for example. Okay, and the way that this is actually set up is this should be the same teams that we had doing our game. All right, so we can now come in. Maybe we start with the bibs players. They're going to do the free out first, and then after 5 or so minutes, we'll swap so that both teams get a go at doing this. We set red cones up here, okay, and we just tell our team that are doing the hit out that their job is to try and get a controlled ball through here. Okay, basically they're going to try and dribble the ball through here. Okay, these aren't goals. We want them to dribble the ball through in a controlled manner. The idea being that they would normally then go on and continue moving forward. We then want to make sure that we get our high player to move. Okay, so we have a high player set up here. We want to be seeing, first and foremost, we want to be seeing if we can get a pass off to this high player. Right, now we can see that this player is currently standing between the ball and the high player. So obviously we need to be encouraging movement. All right, now movement isn't just the high player doing the movement. All right, so I'll give an example. This player moving to here, that still isn't necessarily a great pass because this player obviously could just move into here and stop it. Okay, so we need to be encouraging all of our players to be moving to try and create this space. Okay, now the reason that this player can move into the space, as I said, is because there probably should be somebody here. There isn't, so it's a bad press. Okay, this player isn't actually marking close enough. All right, so in this case, it's quite easy. If this player was closer, then they may have to do some stuff like run this way and then circle round. Okay, so you can encourage little things like that. All right, in this case here, if this player were to move this direction, right, this would likely also force this player to move this direction. And then this player could be looking to then pass into this space. There's lots of space here. Okay, so the whole point of this is we're looking for our center back to be passing into space, which our high forward has indicated that they want the ball there. The communication between our high forward and our center back, all right, it almost becomes telepathic. That's what we're looking for here. Okay, we're wanting this player to signal the center back to have seen it. We've now, this player signaled, right, I want the ball over here. They make the move. This player's seen that move. They can pass into space. Suddenly you've got a high ball here and you're boom, straight into the goal. Okay, that's our best case scenario, but I can't stress it enough. That doesn't always happen. Okay, so there's a couple of ways that we can be playing this out, right? So we can first and foremost be encouraging looking at players for that pass, but we can also get them to make our passes out wide, all right? And these are really great options, right? So the moment this pass isn't on or there's not enough movement, and by the way, typically this pass isn't on because these players aren't moving, which is something we need to be coaching, right? We then get our square pass out left or right, okay? And we get our movement going again, all right? So pass has gone out to here, okay? This time, this player moves this way, dragging this player with him, right? This player is going to press onto this player. We know that, right? That's fairly obvious that that player will then press onto this player. This player is now run into the space, right? As the player gets close, we get our long pass down that way. Or alternatively, right, because you don't always want to go six side, we get a pass up here, and this player goes all the way into the space, right? So this is the stuff that we're looking to do, and this is the movement aspect, right? And the movement is 12 lessons, it's all basically been movement, okay? So look long first is still a movement exercise. We're just trying to create those movements, all right? To date, a lot of the passes we've been talking about have been triangular-based passes, all right? So actually, I should correct that triangle. It would normally be something like that, right? That's our triangle formation we'll be looking to make. But now we're looking to see, can we get that long pass on, whether it be straight into this direction or straight into this direction. All right, that's really what we're looking to do. So yeah, run this for a few minutes, swap the teams after 5 or 6 minutes so that both teams get a go, encourage movement, okay, encourage our player to look for the long pass, or in fact, encourage all of our players to be looking for this high player. All right, because that's how we're going to get this sorted. We can then go back into our game. Okay, so go back into our game for play 2. Let's point out where we've seen a player not make that long pass where they should have. Because as a coach, that's typically what I find. I see the pass is on, the player hasn't seen it, they miss it, opportunity lost. We want to be pointing out to our players, and correct them. Did you see that long player? Why didn't you see that long player? Right, and getting them to pre-scan and look for that pass. This is lesson 12. They've got 2 left to do after this, so we're almost there. Do subscribe, and remember to play, practice, play.